Previously on Drip. In today's video, we got a peer package in the mail delivered personally by the owner of Southlink Pet Shop. So they sent us over a 5-gallon tank with a glass breeding box. When the fry drops from the female, it goes directly into the net and straight to your 5-gallon tank right here. Now we are ready to fill this tank. Let's go ahead and open the water system and let's get it started. Hi guys, Vince here and welcome back to Drip. In today's video, I will show you how I propagate my plants here at Drip by Vnci, and I am talking about this specific plant right here. This is called the Umbulia, and if you guys are interested to know how I do that, what are you waiting for? Let's drip. I start the process by going here on my 75-gallon aquascape. This is the most updated version that you can see here on my YouTube channel. As usual, I'm always so happy to be showing my PKBM or the Platinum Kimbalung Molly fish. But right now we're going to focus on the plants that we have right here. So the ones that I want to propagate would be these ones. These are called Umbulia. They look very similar to Kabomba. This is a low-tech type of plant and you don't actually need the roots for you to be able to propagate them. All you need are just trimmings. So let's go ahead and dive into the 75-gallon aquascape. I prepared here a broken water dipper and we are going to trim the plants. I do have aquascaping scissors, but I don't know, I'm just more comfortable pulling off the plants by hand. So we're just going to trim these plants. We are getting a bit of cuttings from the 75-gallon tank, which we are going to use to propagate them in the pond. So I'm just cutting those who reach the water level already. We are just going to let that float for a moment as we cut through the other stems. I'm just putting the plants here on this water dipper. I'm getting a few more stems from the Umbulia. I think these plants are so gorgeous and very low maintenance. They just perfectly fit the aquascape very well. We are good to go. I think I already trimmed what I needed for the plant propagation, and we are going to transfer this to the pond area. We are now back in the pond area and we just wanted to make sure that these plants remain wet or at least damp so that they don't dry out. The Umbulia on this pond is just thriving, so let's go ahead and trim a few more. Again, I'm just taking those who already reached the water level. For this low-tech plant, the one that gets direct sunlight obviously grows beautifully on the pond or the tank, but then the ones at the bottom or the shade doesn't grow really well, and that's the reason why I constantly give them a trim so that the bottom part of the plant gets direct sunlight as well, and they also have the chance to grow. I already got what I need. I'm going to get a container full of aqua soil to supply the nutrients for the tank. So here on my pond, I have a container full of aqua soil. I will be recycling these ones. We don't need to worry about the nutrients for this plant because this pond is just full of nutrients. I'm sure you guys know that fish poop is very beneficial for the plants because that is one great source of nutrients for them. So I'm just going to make a little space right here. Let me move the other containers for the Umbulia. This is the spot where I'm going to place the Umbulia container. I just went inside to get my aquascaping tweezer because I just find it very hard to bury aquatic plants in aqua soil when you don't have aquatic tweezers. We are now back at the pond area and my dog is just chilling right here. I just got a small container. We are going to wet the aqua soil so that it's easier to plant. Again, don't forget to let your Umbulia dry out or your other aquatic plants. If you guys plant on dry aqua soil, the soil just happens to stick to the wet aquatic plant. It'll also stick to your tweezer, so that makes planting a bit more difficult. So I just got 2 stems of the Umbulia. I'm going to grab it using the aquascaping tweezer on the base of the plant, and I'm just going to bury it on the aqua soil like so. Let's make sure to cover the other parts of the plant. I just do this process until the entire container is filled up with Umbulia. You guys also have to make sure that you leave a gap in between the plants that you put in so that they don't look so crowded when you put them in the pond. What I like about Umbulia is they're very low maintenance and all they need is just nutrition and direct sunlight. I don't actually put fruits in the pond anymore. It just grows. You guys see that the other half is still bare as of right now. While we don't have trimmings anymore, I can get some more, but I'll just leave the other half bare so that when I trim more Umbulia in the future, I can just put them in and I'd still have space in this little area. The reason why I just plant on this area and there is a barrier over here is because of those goldfish. Those are my niece's goldfish. She just loves them so much. She is now 3 years old and she just loves how colorful these fishes are. So I have no means of selling them out or disposing them. Basically, I just can't get rid of those goldfishes. They need to be there. Right now the container is ready to go in the pond, but I feel like these plants would just float up since we just trimmed them, so I decided to put a bit of stones around the area where the plant is just to avoid them from floating up the surface. I have here some extra pumice stones and lava bits mixed together. These are from my old under gravel filters and I'm just going to grab a little bit and I'm going to put it in the container. I will just make sure to surround the plants with bits of rocks and pieces so that they don't easily float on the water surface. I think this is very easy to follow. This is the simplest way on how you could propagate your plants. I also did the same process to my other plants right here. I have here a water lotus. I have here jungle Vallisneria, and I also have here a corkscrew. The rest of the plants require some root system, so when you plant trimmings, especially of the jungle Vallisneria or the corkscrew, it wouldn't grow same like the Embulia that we just did. You need to get the rhizomes or the roots of the plant itself so that they can absorb the nutrients from the aqua soil. So now our container is ready to go in. We are slowly oh, it's a bit heavy. We are slowly going to put it inside this pond, and let's do that right now. Some of the pumice stones will be floating because they don't have water weight, but most of them will just sink down. So there you go, it's now going in the pond. Most of the Embulia that we planted are facing different directions, but eventually when they grow they will follow the sunlight like the rest of the Embulia that we planted on this pond. Before we even go, I'd like to give a shout out to Tom J. Castor, shout out to Francis Pio Crispino, shout out to Jess Mark Lester Assis, this one is from Drip, shout out to Mark Daniel, and shout out to Billy Joel. Thank you so much for all your support to Drip. I really appreciate it. So yeah, that's it. I think it's a very simple tutorial. I hope you guys learned a little bit of something today. If you guys have any questions, please do not hesitate to write it down on the comment section below. I'd give my absolute best to answer all of your questions. Just leave your thoughts below. Again, that's it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.